I love Mortal Kombat. You know this. I've made literally hundreds of videos on this channel that have drawn millions of views. Videos that have celebrated the history and legacy of the franchise that calls Fatality home. When it comes to the best, or maybe your favorites, what? Maybe you're an MKII kind of player? You like the 2D days, huh? Maybe Ultimate 3. Not everyone prefers the original days though. Deception has its diehards. Flash forward another generation, you can't go wrong with MKII. Great games and Mortal Kombat go hand in hand. But greatness isn't guaranteed. And I'm not talking about Mortal Kombat 1, a great game unfortunately tarnished by garbage microtransactions. I'm talking about real, genuine trash. Two games widely considered to be some of the worst of all time. Today, I'm going to compare Mortal Kombat Mythologies Sub-Zero and Mortal Kombat Special Forces, category by category, and when it's all said and done, we'll have an official answer to the question, what's the worst Mortal Kombat game ever made? Strap in, this is gonna be a bloodbath. Every video here on 616 Entertainment is made possible by my supporters over on Patreon. If you enjoyed the show here today, consider signing up. You'll get early access, exclusive videos and podcasts and more. Pro Wrestling Tees has the merch. As always, thank you for watching. I'm not looking to give you a full history lesson here, but just to bring everyone up to speed who may not be a hardcore fan of the series, let's rapid fire. Prior to the release of Mortal Kombat 4 in 1997, the series made its first attempt at branching out with Mortal Kombat Mythologies Sub-Zero. This solo spin-off is a side-scrolling action platformer that retains the controls of Mortal Kombat 3. If that sounds like it wouldn't really work well at all, you're right. Critics absolutely shredded this icy adventure, and the fans were right along with them. Mythologies was intended to be an ongoing series, but after the first effort fell flat, future plans were scrapped. 3 years later, Midway would try their hand at a side story once again. In June of 2000, Mortal Kombat Special Forces would hit the PlayStation, this time dropping players into the boots of Major Jackson Briggs. His mission is to take down the Black Dragon clan of Kano, Tasia, Tremor, and a bunch of other idiots. The classic Mortal Kombat fighting controls are gone, with guns and explosives now taking center stage. Critics and fans once again rejected Midway's attempt to break out of the fighting mold, with websites and magazines wondering how such a failure could make it to market after the reaction to Mythologies. So, there you go. A baseline education, a foundation for what these games are and how badly they were received. Now that that's out of the way, I'll get into my opinions. Are you ready? Oh god, I'm not sure that I am. Gameplay is king, so that's where we'll start. With Mythologies, like I said earlier, these controls are pulled straight from Mortal Kombat 3. Sub-Zero's combos are virtually identical, not only in appearance, but in their input commands. These controls don't translate well to a platforming side-scroller, but we're just getting started. The camera is awful. Look how close we are to the edge of the screen. Many of our enemies sprint toward us, completely out of view, giving us zero time to react. Not only are we too close to the edge of the screen, but the camera is way too tight on us as well. There are so many moments where we're expected to leap into the unknown because the camera will not pull out and give us a better look at what we're doing. Mythologies is extremely difficult, and 75% of that difficulty probably comes from the fact that we can't fucking see what we're doing. The checkpoints are few and far between, and one wrong move kills you, sending you back to who knows where to repeat a section that you've been stuck on for hours. Each level begins with a one-sentence goal, usually based around collecting several items. There are zero indications baked into the environment to guide you on your path. And no, I'm not saying I want yellow paint splashed everywhere or giant text to pop up saying, "Go through this door!" But these levels are loaded with dead ends and pitfalls. If I don't even know what you want me to do, how am I supposed to know where you want me to go? It's like being dropped in a corn maze with the directions being, "Find it." Find what? And what do I do with this thing I'm looking for after I've found it? The visual language of Mythologies' art style tells the player nothing at all. And the game itself isn't any better. All throughout the adventure, the L1 button interacts with the environment. L1 is how we grab items. L1 is how we do everything. In one of the later stages, these elevators carry us where we need to go to complete the level. Powering the elevators is no longer enacted by pressing L1. Now, with no warning or indication of a change in any way, shape, or form, the interaction button has now been switched to L1 and triangle, or L1 and X, depending on whether you want to go up or down. This was easily one of the most frustrating moments of my recent playthrough of the game. When it comes to Special Forces, oh man, I hate that I'm even talking about these games again, to be honest. The camera in Mythologies was bad, and it's no better here in Special Forces. Shocker. This top-down view, which seems to come and go whenever it pleases, is nauseating. At some points, you will be walking toward the camera and just get pelted with fully automatic gunfire from an enemy you cannot possibly see before the attack takes place. The only way to defeat these enemies is to just hold down the fire button and hope you hit them, or switch over to the sniper rifle scope and try to find them, if you happen to have a sniper rifle, which you don't always have. Every single enemy takes 107 hits to put down, and the combo system is just atrocious. There's really no way to properly explain this, but sometimes the game just doesn't work. All you want to do is walk forward and climb a ladder, and the movement is so fucked up and fidgety, it's nearly impossible. Here, this is it. This is exactly what I'm talking about. It's easier to just show it to you. You can do it. Jax, get off. You're stuck. I understand that you're stuck, but get off. Oh. Jax! 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 Climb the fuck. Oh. Jax, climb the ladder. Climb the ladder. Look at this. Look at this. I have to fucking pinpoint perfect. I have to try and get him in front of this ladder. Go up the ladder. He won't just take one step at a time. He's taking like multiple. Go up the ladder. Oh my lord. Even with as incoherent as Mythologies was in regards to where we're supposed to go and what we're supposed to do, Special Forces, once again, is even worse. The amount of backtracking you'll be doing if you ever punish yourself into playing this game will make you wish you were doing literally anything else in the entire world. When it comes to the gameplay, Mythologies comes out on top, putting Special Forces down to kick things off. Can Jax and company claw their way out of this hole, or are they destined to wear the unholy crown of worst Mortal Kombat ever? Let's keep going. Let's talk about the visuals. Graphics can be subjective. In 1997, WCW vs. the World was amazing. Wrestling in 3D, you know? But rewind to 1993 and look at Saturday Night Slam Masters. Are we really gonna pretend this isn't more appealing to the eye? Either way, let's put Slam Masters and WCW vs. the World away and focus on today's actual subject. Can you tell I'm trying to get away from this? When it comes to Sub-Zero, we've got a hybrid of 2D and 3D graphics. The character sprites are digitized actors while the backgrounds are three-dimensional, though we are locked to a lone two-dimensional plane with which we can traverse. Are you following? The stages range from incomprehensibly dark to surprisingly ornate and colorful. The full motion video cutscenes, while cheesy as all hell, were impressive for their time. And I must admit, I do think the Ice Blast looks tremendous, even if the spine rip fatality is embarrassingly awful. The head and spine look like the dream demon things from A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 6. Ugh, I don't want to talk about that. Special Forces is fully three-dimensional, through and through. 3D character models, 3D environments. As you can see, all of it looks terrible. Textures are chunky and warp back and forth as if they're struggling to exist. The blood effects when Jax is struck by an enemy don't even resemble liquid. It looks like a bunch of red clouds floating away in slow motion. I buried Mythologies for being dark, but once again, Special Forces takes the cake. What in the asshole is going on here? Who knows? You can't see a goddamn thing. The dithering effects are unbelievably distracting, and they never, ever stop. Look at this scene here. Look at this ancient cave with a very modern, gigantic computer power panel right in the middle of it. What the hell is this thing doing here? How does it... Never mind. Special Forces doesn't have many cutscenes, but the ones that are here are dog shit. Kano looks like Gumby. In the graphical department, Sub-Zero once again picks up the victory. Now down 2-0, Special Forces needs to win the final 2 categories just to secure a tie. Goodness gracious. This is like pitting poop against shit in a battle of smells. Ugh, next. From sights to sounds, we'll get into the music and overall audio design here. Our Lin Kuei Warriors game does feature some pretty cool music. I can't take that away from Mythologies. Special Forces, oh man. Music is even more subjective than graphics, so... If this somehow wasn't clear from the start, these are only my opinions. I'll make a judgment in a little bit. The pops of the strikes in Mythologies are pretty damn satisfying. Meanwhile, the gunfire in Special Forces is not. Okay. What did that thing say? It said headshot. Whoa! And the strikes are even worse. Oh my god. We're gonna get this. We're gonna get this. What else can we slot in this category? How about the acting?
He is my deity, ruler of the Netherrealm, and soon destroyer of your Earthrealm.
What are you talking about?
This amulet, it is the king Shinnok's power as an elder god.
You better start believing in both, because you're going to the Netherrealm. Beware the Brothers of the Shadow! The Netherrealm is a place for lost souls.
I am Scorpion. You killed me in cold blood.
I had no choice.
You could have let me live.
Then I would be the dead one.
But my clan and family would still be alive.
What?
It wasn't enough to kill me. You had to destroy every last remnant of my being, including my wife and child.
You're mistaken.
Did you happen to run into any more of Kano's henchmen?
Nothing I couldn't handle. Just some punk with a sharp toy. Gemini, I'm going to upload the coordinates from a map I found. Seems like Kano is up to something big.
And, oh, delicious irony. You shall be the first to serve me.
I know exactly what I'm gonna do with this thing.
Well, sounds to me like someone has made it all the way back home.
Oh yeah.
Special Forces needs a win in this category just to stay alive in the competition. And it's not gonna get it. I hate to give the result away already, but Mythology sounds better across the board. Not all hope is lost though. Special Forces still has the chance to not be completely shut out. Let's head into the final category. Boss fights. Some of the greatest moments in any game can be tied to a battle against a major enemy. In Sub-Zero's solo adventure, we go up against Scorpion twice. We battle Serena and her two partners in crime, the massive robots, the god of wind, Fujin, a fucking T-Rex for no discernible reason whatsoever, before topping things off against Quan Chi and Shinnok. The Shinnok battle isn't really a battle at all, unless you want it to be. You can just yoink his jewelry and disappear. And that's all she wrote. Scorpion, despite being an all-star, arguably the most recognizable face in the history of the franchise, matched only by Sub-Zero, he's the easiest fight in the game. Both times, no less. I do appreciate how his outfit changes between battles, though. He got a new head and a new suit. How do you like that? The Fujin fight is unbelievably fucking difficult, and the finish requires the player to just somehow know that they're supposed to run to the very edge of the screen, crouch, and wait. How the fuck was anybody supposed to know this? Quan Chi, oh my god, this fight is brutally frustrating. Jackson Briggs battles Jarek in a fight that looks like this. Is this what we're gonna be designated to? Look at his fucking legs. Guys, all I'm doing is holding down the square button. The Tasia fight isn't any better. Unbelievable. What is with the detonator mechanic that they're trying to get me to use if this is the right way to do it? Just zero thought whatsoever. Tremor, arguably the only worthwhile aspect of Special Forces' entire existence, also has his own boss fight. It sucks. What was the gold key for? What was the blue key for? What were those empty baskets of whatever the fuck that was? Look at this. All I'm doing is holding down square. None of these, I repeat, none of these fights across either game are fun to engage with in any way. Sub-Zero's bosses range from gods to robots to dinosaurs. Special Forces, it's all the same thing. Over and over. Each showdown takes place in an empty room, all of them exactly the same size, all of them utterly devoid of imagination. In our final category, it's Sub-Zero who reigns supreme, earning a 4-0 shutout over Special Forces. These Mythologies boss battles are rage-inducing and poorly designed, sure, but at the very least, there's variety. The team at least attempted to differentiate one fight from the other, and with the bar set this low, that's enough to do it. Mortal Kombat Special Forces is, without a doubt in my mind, the worst Mortal Kombat game ever made. Dan-Dans, thank you for watching this showcase of shit. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see me cover the history of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, sign up over on patreon.com/616entertainment at any level you choose. We can hit this goal. We're pretty close. So if you want to see it, the ball's in your court. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.